I want to welcome you all to the 176th Annual Installation of Officers for Morton Lodge, number 72 AF and AM. My name is Aaron Wayne Tazensi, and I was fortunate to be Worshipful Master here in 2020-2021. And I want to thank you for being here. Is there anybody in here who this is their first time in a Masonic lodge? Well, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
So, those of you that have been, and maybe it's been a while, I want to go over a couple of things, for this is a special auspicious ceremony that we're getting ready to do. We do it one time a year. But everything in this room has some purpose besides the regular furniture, like these chairs and things like that. But those spherical bodies on those pedestals back there, those have significant meaning. Most especially the holy writings on the altar. So everything in this room has some sort of symbology that is very, very important. Many of you are going to hear titles that you're not familiar with. Worshipful Master, Right Worshipful Sir. You're going to hear those things. And that's not to indicate that we worship a person. We do not. But those are simply honorific titles that have come from Old English. So I want to make sure that you are aware of that. There's a couple of introductions that I want to make. First is Right Worshipful Cody Matthew Cockcroft, who is our Southeast Texas representative of the Committee on Work and was Worshipful Master here as well. So thank you, sir, for being here. Can y'all get Right Worshipful Albert Davis, who is the current district deputy from Masonic District number 108, which is this area. Thank you, sir, for being here. Appreciate that. We have Brother Gary Priswicki, my good friend from past master for Bel Air, is the district communications officer from Masonic District 30 Bravo. If you'll stand up, please. Y'all give it.
Committee on Education.
And that's right, Committee on Education. We have Gary Weiner, past master of Bray 329 and the district instructor from Masonic District 30 Alpha. Thank you for being here.
And jurisprudence?
No.
No?
Okay, Right Worshipful Cockcroft, if you would please call the roll of officers to be installed.
I didn't hear that.
Would you like me to do the invocation first, Worshipful Master?
Yes, sir.
About two
Okay.
and a half.
You'll do that. Would y'all please rise?
Ladies and gentlemen, before any laudable undertaking in Freemasonry, we always start in prayer. It's not that we are a religious organization, we are a man of faith. So, if you would please pray with me. Great Architect of the universe, we thank you for your divine providence. We ask for your wisdom and your discernment be a blessing to all these men to represent Morton Lodge number 72 in its 176th year. Be with our working master-elect, David Carl Berndt. Give him the tutelage and the tools and the mechanisms to lead us to glorious heights. May his officers and subordinates serve him for your will. And in your precious name I pray. Amen.
So mote it be.
You may be seated. Thank you.
Past Master David C. Berndt. Joel A. Cole. Rafael V. Evangelista. Past Master Jason O. Vance. Sushil K. Sika. Lawrence W. Wilson Jr. Right Worshipful Albert Past Master John R. Bradley. And then we're gonna start squeezing those oversized backs like that. Jeffrey C. Green. Soon to be past master, Coy M. Christopher. Sir.
Y'all will please rise for the presentation of the colors.
Standard guard, forward, march. Column left. Standard guard, halt. Right base. Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the flag of our beloved country. It is always displayed in the east of every Masonic lodge where it is accorded the highest honor. It is a constant inspiration to every lover of his country. It demands unswerving loyalty and wholehearted devotion to the principles of which it is the glorious representative. It is the majestic symbol of freedom under constitutional government. Beneath its protecting folds, liberty, equality, and fraternity have become the heritage of every citizen, while the oppressed of many nations have found peace and happiness in the land over which it floats. The flags of mighty empires have come and gone, but the stars and stripes remain. Alone of all flags, it expresses the sovereignty of the people which endures when all else passes away. Speaking with their voice, it has the sanctity of revelation. He who lives under it and is loyal to it is loyal to truth and justice everywhere. So long as it flies, government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in pledging allegiance to the United States, the flag of the United States of America. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance to the flag of the state of Texas.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Standard guard, return the flag to their positions in the east. On behalf of Fort Bend Commandery Number 74, it has been our great honor and privilege to present the colors at this evening's installation. I am Christopher Choate, a past commander of Fort Bend Commandery Number 74, and assisting me this evening is Sir Knight Mark Eastwood and Sir Knight Rob Rogers. Brother Berndt, it has been a great honor to present flags during your installation. You truly are a unique individual with your willingness to serve as the master of a lodge for the third time. So you're a great friend and I appreciate you. You've got a great officer corps that's lined up, including myself. So, but anyways, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. So, Sir Knights, forward, march.
Y'all please give them a round of applause. Thank you, may be seated. Right Worshipful Sir, you will present the officers of Morton Lodge second to be installed.
Worshipful Master, I present the officers, elected and appointed, of Morton Lodge number 72 for installation. I believe each of them to be well qualified to discharge the duties of his office, and each is signified to do the same. I therefore ask that they be duly and constitutionally installed.
Very good, sir. Right Worshipful Sir, you present the Worshipful Master elect for installation. Remaining officers and remain seated. Past Master David Berndt, my very good friend. I take pleasure in installing you into this honorable office with the usual ceremonies, but previous to being invested in the insignia of your office, it is necessary that you should signify your assent to those ancient charges and regulations which point out the duty of a Master of the Lodge. As this is your third tour of duty in said station, you know that there are 15 of these you may answer affirmative at the end. You, sir, agree to be a good man and true and to strictly obey moral law. You agree to be a peaceful citizen and cheerfully conform to the laws of the country in which you reside. You promise not to be concerned in the plots and conspiracies against the government, but patiently to submit to the decisions of the Supreme Legislature. You agree to pay proper respect to the civil magistrate, work diligently, live creditably, and act honorably by all men. You agree to hold in veneration the original rulers and patrons of the Order of Masonry and their regular successors, supreme and subordinate, according to their stations, and to submit to the awards and resolutions of your brethren when convened, in every case consistent with the constitutions of this order. You agree to avoid private picks and quarrels, and to guard against intemperance and excess. You agree to be cautious in carriage and behavior, courteous to your brethren, and faithful to your laws. You promise to respect genuine brethren and to discountenance impostors and all dissenters from the original plan of Masonry. You agree to promote the general good of society, to cultivate the social virtues, and to propagate the knowledge of our order. You agree to pay homage to the Grand Master for the time being and to his officers when installed, and to strictly conform to every edict of the Grand Lodge or Grand Assembly of Masons that is not subversive to the principles and groundwork of Masonry. You admit that it is not in the power of any man or body of men to make innovations in the body of Masonry. You promise a regular attendance on the committees and communications of the Grand Lodge on receiving proper notice, and pay attention to all the duties of Masonry on all convenient occurrences. You admit that no new lodge shall be formed without the permission of the Grand Lodge, and that no countenance be given to any irregular lodge or to any person clandestinely initiated therein, being contrary to the ancient charters of this order. You admit that no person can be regularly made a Mason in or admitted a member of any regular lodge without previous notice and due inquiry into his character. You agree that no visitors shall be received into your lodge without due examination and producing proper vouchers of their having been initiated in a regular lodge. These are the regulations of free and accepted Masons. Do you, sir, submit to these charges and promise to support these regulations as masters have done in all 8 before?
I do.
Good, sir. Ask Master Berndt, in consequence of your cheerful conformity to these charges and regulations of the order, you are now to be installed as master of this lodge, in full confidence of your care, skill, and capacity to govern the same. Right worshipful sir, you will invest the worshipful master with the insignia of his office, which is the square. The various implements of the profession are emblematic of our conduct in life, and upon this occasion are carefully enumerated. The holy writings, that great light in Masonry, will guide you to all truth. It will direct your path to the temple of happiness and point out to you the whole duty of man. The square teaches us to regulate our actions by rule and line, and to harmonize our conduct by the principles of morality and virtue. The compasses teach us to limit our desires in every station, that, rising to eminence by merit, we may live respected and die regretted. The rule directs that we shall punctually observe our duty, press forward in the path of virtue, and neither inclining to the right nor the left. In all of our actions have eternity in view. The line teaches us the criterion of moral rectitude, to avoid dissimulation in conversation and action, and to direct our steps to the path which leads to immortality. The Book of Constitutions. You are to search at all times. Cause it to be read in your lodge, that none may pretend to ignorance of the excellent principles it enjoins. Now receive in charge the charter, by the authority of which this lodge is in. You will carefully preserve it and duly transmit it to your successor in office. Lastly, you receive in charge the bylaws of this lodge, which you are to carefully and punctually see executed. Right worshipful sir, you will seat the worshipful master back in his chair and present the senior warden-elect for installation. Right worshipful sir, you will invest the senior warden with the insignia of his office, which is level. The level demonstrates that we are descended from the same stock, partake of the same nature, and share the same hope. And though distinctions among men are necessary to preserve subordination, yet no eminence of station should make us forget that we are all brethren. For he who is placed on the lowest spoke of fortune's wheel may be entitled to our regard, because a time will come, and the wisest know not how soon, when that distinction, but that of goodness, shall cease, and death, the grand leveler of human greatness, will reduce us to the same state. Your regular attendance at our stated meetings is essentially necessary. In the absence of the master, you are to govern this lodge. In his presence, you are to assist in the government of it. I firmly rely on your knowledge of masonry and your attachment to this lodge for the faithful discharge of the duties of this very important trust. Look well to the west. My worshipful sir, you will seek the senior warden in his chair and present the junior warden-elect for installation. You have something for him to stand on? Or what?
And there is.
Right Worshipful Sir, you will invest the junior warden with the insignia of his office, which is the plum. Brother Evangelista, the plum admonishes us to walk uprightly in our several stations, to hold the scale of justice in equal poise, and observe the just medium between intemperance and pleasure, not to make our passions or prejudice coincide with the line of our duty. To you is committed the superintendence of the craft during the hours of refreshment. It is therefore indispensably necessary that you should not only be temperate and discreet in the indulgence of your own inclinations, but carefully observe that none of this craft be suffered to convert by means of refreshment or intemperance and excess. Right Worshipful Sir, you will seek the junior warden to present the treasurer-elect for installation. Past Master Choke. Right Worshipful Sir, you will invest the treasurer with the insignia of his office, which is the cross keys.
Here we are again.
Here we are again. How many times have I done this for you?
I don't know.
Don't dodge
We appreciate you signing up for another sentence. Past Master Choate, it is your duty to receive all money from the secretary, make due interest thereof, pay them out by order of the Worshipful Master and consent of this lodge. I trust that your regard for the welfare of this order will prompt you to a faithful discharge of your duties again. Right Worshipful Sir, if you will sit him in his place and present the chaplain for installation. Right Worshipful Sir, you will invest the chaplain with the insignia of his office, which is the open holy Bible. Past Master Vance, it is your duty to perform those solemn ceremonies which we should constantly render to our Creator, and which, when offered by one whose example is to point to heaven and lead the way, may, by refining our souls, strengthening our virtues, and purifying our minds, prepare us for admission into the society above, where happiness will be as endless as it is perfect. Right Worshipful Sir, you will seat the chaplain in his place and present the senior and junior deacons for installation. Right Worshipful Sir, you will invest the deacons with the badges of their office, which are the square and compasses. Brothers Sika and Wilson, it is your province to attend on the masters and wardens and to act as their proxies in the active duties of this law, such as the reception of the candidates into the different degrees in masonry, the introduction and accommodation of visitors, and the immediate practice of all rites. The square and compasses, as badges of your office, I now entrust to your care, not doubting your vigilance and attention. Right worshipful sir, you will seat the deacons in their respective places and present the senior and junior stewards for installation. Right worshipful sir, you will invest the stewards with the insignia of their offices, which is the cornucopia or horn plenty. Right worshipful Davis and past master Bradley. As master of the ceremonies, it is your duty to assist the deacons and other officers in performing their respective duties, to see that the tables are properly furnished and refreshed. That's very important. Very, very important. And that the brethren are suitably prepared for. Your regular and early attendance will afford the best proof of your zeal and attachment to this lodge. Right worshipful sir, you will seat the stewards in their respective places and present the master of ceremonies for installation. Right worshipful sir, you will invest the master of ceremonies with the insignia of his office, which is the cross swords. Brother Green, it is your duty to assist the senior deacon in preparing candidates for initiation and to see that the needs of the candidate are provided for, such as the candidate information program, ritualistic instruction, Masonic education, and information concerning the customs and usages of Freemasonry. Right worshipful sir, you will seat the master of ceremonies in his place and present the top for installation. Right worshipful sir, you will invest the title with the insignia of his office, which is the sword. So I get the pleasure of actually pronouncing you past master for the first time. Y'all give him a round of applause. How does that sound, past master Christopher? Does that sound pretty good?
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Get used to it. So.
Yeah. Bittersweet.
Yeah, I get it. I now present to you the implement of your office. As the sword is placed in the hands of the tyrant to enable him to effectively guard against the approach of cowards and eavesdroppers, and permit none to pass except those who are duly qualified. So should it also admonishes us to set up a guard over our thoughts, a watch at our lips, post a sentinel over our actions, thereby preventing the approach of every unworthy thought and deed, thus preserving consciences void of all offenses towards God and man. Right, worshipful sir, you will seat the Tyler in his place and present the worshipful master for the charge. Worshipful sir, my good friend, for the third time, to your care is now committed the charter of this lodge and the government of the brethren who compose the same and are within the jurisdiction of said lodge. You cannot be insensible of the obligations which now devolve upon you as the head, nor of your responsibility of the faithful discharge of the important duties annexed to said station. The honor, reputation, and usefulness of this lodge will materially depend on the skill and assiduity with which you now manage its concerns. And while the happiness of its members will be generally promoted in proportion to the zeal and ability with which you now propagate the genuine principles of our institution. For a pattern of imitation, consider the great luminary of nature, which, with rising in the east, regularly diffuses light and luster to all within its circuit. In a like manner, it is your province to spread and communicate light and instruction to the brethren of this lodge. Forcibly impress upon them the dignity and high importance of Masonry, and seriously admonish them never to disgrace it. Charge them to practice out of the lodge the duties with which they are now taught in, and by amiable, discreet, and virtuous conduct, convince to mankind of the goodness of this institution, so that when a person is said to be a member of it, the world may know that he is one to whom the burdened heart may pour out its sorrows, to whom the distressed may prefer its suit, whose hand is guided by justice, and whose heart is expanded by benevolence. In short, be diligently and observe the bylaws of this lodge, the Constitution of Masonry, and above all, the Holy Scriptures before it, which are given as a rule and guide of your faith. You will be enabled to acquit yourself of the honor and reputation, and lay upon a crown of rejoicing, which shall continue when time shall be no more. Right, worshipful sir, you will seek the worshipful master in the east and present the awards for the charge. Brother Senior and Junior Morton, you are too well acquainted with the principles of Masonry to warrant any distrust that you will be found wanting in the discharge of your respective duties. Suffice it to say that what you have seen praiseworthy in others, you should carefully imitate, and what you may have appeared defective, you should yourselves amend. You should be examples of good order and regularity, for it is only by due regard to the laws in your own conduct that you can expect obedience to them from others. You are to assist the master in the discharge of his trust, diffusing light and imparting knowledge to all who he may shall place upon your care. In the absence of him, you will succeed to higher duties. Your requirements, therefore, must be as such that the craft may never suffer for the want of proper instruction. From the spirit with which you have hereunto advanced, I entertain no doubt that your future conduct will be such as to merit the applause of your brethren and testimony of good conscience. Right, worshipful sir, you will seek the wardens in their respective stations. The brethren of Morton Lodge 72 AF and AM only will rise. Brethren, such is the nature of our Constitution that some must, out of necessity, rule and teach, while others must, of course, learn to submit and obey. Humility in both is an essential duty. The officers who are elected and appointed to govern this lodge are subversively conversant with the rules of propriety and laws of the Masonic order to avoid exceeding the powers with which they are now entrusted. And you are too generous of disposition to any their preferment. I therefore trust that you will have but one aim, and that will be to try to please each other and unite in the grand design of being happy and communicating happiness. Finally, my brethren, as the business of this lodge has been conducted in peace and harmony, so may it long continue. May you and your associates long enjoy every satisfaction and delight which distrusted friendship can afford. May kindness and brotherly affection distinguish your conduct as men and as Masons. Within these peaceful walls, may your children's children celebrate with joy and gratitude the annual recurrence of this auspicious solemnity. And may the tenets of our profession be transmitted through this lodge, pure and unimpaired, from generation to generation. The remaining audience will now rise. Right worshipful sir, you will proclaim the installation of Morton Lodge 72 AF and AM.
In the name and by the authority of the most worshipful Grand Lodge of Texas, I now declare the officers of Morton Lodge number 72 ancient, free, and accepted Masons duly and constitutionally installed.
Congratulations. Be seated. Worshipful Master, I will take my hat off if you will put yours on. I've done as much damage as I can do, and I congratulate you, my friend. Thank you so much.
Not just get out of the station.
You did. This morning.
This morning.
Yeah, I know, sabbatical.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. We have a few presentations to make, but before we do, I'd like to thank my parents for coming all the way down from Michigan for this. What started as a trip to come to this event then turned into a trip to also help me move apartments, which then also turned into a trip here so they could get Galveston to go on a cruise tomorrow.
Nice.
I don't know how all that happened, but they're here anyway.
Call multitasking just like you, sir.
Yes, they are. They are. I'd also like to thank one of my very, very good friends, Chris Bennett. We've known each other for about 27 years, for coming out. And also Alex from work. She is the comedian that keeps us all laughing at the office and keeps our loads going. So thank you for coming out. Does anybody else have anybody they would like to recognize? I don't care which order y'all going. I don't micromanage, y'all choose.
Wow.
I do worship Master. I like to welcome my mother, Rosalind Green, and also visiting brothers from Dr. Morton Lodge, Dr. John H. Kelly, and Brother Robert White for visiting.
Worshipful Master, I'd like to thank my wife for joining me this evening.
Worship Master, right worship sir, good morning, brother. I'd like to thank my wife, Deborah. Now so they can see
Deborah, we know who wears the pants in the family. We know.
I made him do that.
is like the third installation in 24 hours. My wife, I think, is semi-recovered from watching the grandchildren over the last few days. So she came out, my wife of 40 years, the lady that puts up with my being absent all the time. So without complaint, she's an amazing individual, and I'm glad you were able to be here tonight.
I'll go this time. I look forward to being part of this group this year. Sure it's going to be amazing. But I want to introduce my wife, Lydia, without whom the aprons wouldn't exist, or at least some of them. But I may have to border me work for this little permanent color, doesn't it? So, anyway, stand up, Lydia. See, it doesn't work with me. I don't know what you got.
Something that
I just thought I'd try it.
Straighten up, Slater.
That was a swing and a miss. Thank you very much.
All right. Unlike Worshipful Master David Berndt here, Staff Master Berndt, I don't have a 20-minute speech prepared.
We've got a 20-minute prayer, though.
You have to become better friends with ChatGPT like Worshipful Master David do.
Yes, sir.
Past Master Christopher,
Yes, sir.
would you please take yourself to the west side of the altar?
Oh,
Staff Master Berndt. You first.
You want a list?
It's kind of funny, you go from one end to the other.
Right? That's how they keep, that's how they keep past masters exiled.
Past Master Christopher, congratulations again on a wonderful and successful year. As has been tradition, Morton, since the past 5 years.
4, I guess.
Yeah, 3, 7, 5 years. The junior past master wears
Oh, nice.
his badge, and so I hope you wear it with honor. And congratulations again. And on top of that, you also get a nice exclusive case to go with that.
Straight
I'll
up.
treasure it.
There you
Straight up,
go.
back to 20.
I'll keep this case safe.
Thank you.
Past Master Christopher,
Yes, sir.
when you and I first met, I haven't seen you wear one in a while, but something that struck me was your love of leather cuffs.
Oh,
Something your officer wanted to get you.
oh, yeah. Yeah, the guy made those, he died.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
We
playing
can
this one.
off this.
Right. Nice.
Yeah. Nice cuff there.
That will get actually some operative masonry use. That'll be that'll go good in the shop.
The forge.
Yeah. Good wrist support.
And then, I like practical gifts, and I know you love a corn-based liquid.
Oh, nice.
So you have a canvas that
Y'all can see it later on if you want.
you are responsible for filling it because I'm not going to try to get it.
Yeah, no worries. I know what
No
I'm
permission by the junior ward.
We'll check the legality.
Temperance and excess.
That's right.
Operate efficiently. The second greeting comes from, come and take it.
Come and take it.
Take 2. Grotto. We'll be meeting at Sugarland on the 10th of July. We have one of our quarterly tile meetings. Invite any Mason who might be interested to come and see what we're about. No pressure to join. But we wear the black fezzes with the red tassels. Again, congratulations.
Our worship list.
Worshipful Master, right, Worshipful Sir, Warden's brother, yes, Worshipful Master, 3 times, huh? Welcome to the club.
Thank you. I met somebody who already got the license plate.
Yeah, there you go. I took the last one like that. We have to come up with a different combo. But congratulations. So proud of you. Just watching what you do in masonry, you're an inspiration to me and to every other Mason in this room I know. Looks up to you. I look forward to your year. It's going to be an excellent year. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to get a lot of good masonry accomplished, do some things around here. I'm sure you probably have a list already. But congratulations. Worshipful Master Christopher. Wow, what a year you had, huh? Man, that was exciting. Probably the list of things that you accomplished during your year is from here to that door. I mean, amazing year. I don't know how you have any hair left on your head, but congratulations to you. It's a pleasure, a privilege working alongside of you this year. Got a lot accomplished. And like I say, looking forward to the future of Morton Lodge, the future of District 108, the vanguard district of Texas Masonry.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Worshipful Master, I just want to thank you for allowing me to be your installing marshal on this great occasion. Something that is important to me, and it might be important to a lot of you, but David is actually a #1 guy. And what I mean by that is he is the first Master Mason who has now served as the Master of the Lodge of all 3 Fort Bend County lodges. His first was Sugar Land Lodge, number 1141, followed by Rosenberg Lodge, number 881 last year, and is now the City Master of the Mother Lodge of those 2 lodges, Morton Lodge, number 72. You have assembled a tremendous group of officers. Morton just does things different. It just does, and it's great to be in the midst of such fine people. And that apron that was presented to past Master Christopher, Lydia Bradley worked on that as part of her sidekick or business. And I would encourage y'all to take a look at it. It's probably one of the more unique aprons I've ever seen, and the meanings of the contents that is upon that bib and on the 16 by 16 interface, it speaks a lot. It speaks a lot of what Morton represents, and Coy, I don't think there's a man that could have did it better than you. So congratulations, Worshipful Master, congratulations.
I would also like to thank Past Master Kaczynski for serving as the installing officer. 5 years ago when I got into the officer's line here, I asked him to install me, and he of course said yes, and had the date on the calendar already. We said flip the time around a little bit. When we finish the public portion, I would like 2 things to happen immediately following. The first is I would like everybody up here in the east for a photo. Following that, we will get just the officer corps in a photo, and then we will handle our tile business. Seeing no other remarks, this concludes the public portion of the 176th installation of officers of Morton Lodge. Thank you all. Wait. Past Master Vance, we go offer our benediction.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this fellowship. We thank you for this momentous day that we have come to recognize our new officers. We pray that you would guide us in our decisions, and also we pray for our newest Worshipful Master David Berndt, that you would guide him with your light, guide his hand, guide his heart, and in everything that he does. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
So Lord be.
And this concludes the public portion of the installation of officers. Everybody up here for a vote.